Wall Street, what do they know that we don't? They're getting ready for a big run in XRP, getting into position. That's just starting, and they're going to keep piling in here. And we have some on chain metrics that are really flashing green. They always show this before the big run. Everyone ignores it, and then kaboom, off things go. We'll take a look at that. We get an interesting report about Tether. Now, Tether's huge. And we all understand this, and it's becoming politically intertwined with the current administration, but it is Tether, and that is problematic in its own right. Really interesting. You got to be ready for this. Let's get into it. Let's start with this. So this first article here, we see examining Ripple's Wall Street grip on XRP ETFs, attracting $1.4 billion in inflow. So what we have going on here, Wall Street, they're officially loading up on XRP, and who's leading the way? Who is the biggest buyer of ETFs? Well, it's none other than Goldman Sachs getting ready here. And with Goldman leading the way, JP Morgan is going to follow. BlackRock is getting in position. This is going to be full steam ahead. And it's not just people buying XRP ETFs. What you're going to see here is it's also network usage in all the important areas. That's what's flashing green. That's what tells you we're going to have a big run here. Everyone always disregards, growth in the network, and it doesn't matter. The price isn't doing anything, and then off it takes. This always happens. Of course, it matters the usage of the network. Just because it doesn't on the weekly or even the monthly, don't be fooled. Don't go to sleep on this because this is huge. And that's exactly what this CoinDesk article says. There's a huge gap right now between network use and token value. We see this in the stock market as well, right? You have a company that's doing great, is growing, it's firing on all cylinders, and the price kind of lags behind until, the investors understand what is actually happening, and then you see everyone start piling in at once. That's what we're looking at here. Here's the signal right now. 2.7 million daily payments. So this is big growth there. And probably the most important, we're almost at $500 million in real world asset values, RWAs here. But the token price, you see it there on the chart, $1.37 at the time I made this chart here. You look at the fundamentals, they are as bullish as you get. Daily payment volume hitting all-time highs. RWA tokenization up 35% to $500 million. Great springboard, by the way. It's not going to stop there. It's going to go up another couple levels. Exchange reserves, this is the most telling. And only with XRP do they try to make this into a bad thing. It's at a 10-month low. Again, we're setting up for a supply shock. It is coming. The supply tightening is upon us. Now, don't forget, XRP is very fast. The price goes flying up. Of course, people can transfer back onto exchanges and cash out. No one's arguing otherwise. But this sets up a market dynamic where you can see a big run here. And the price action just lags behind, which is typical. You're going to see that real-world adoption, those on-chain metrics, and then, and only then, will the price take off when market conditions get there here. This is the big deal. The network, it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to. The price hasn't caught up yet, but 3 or 4 metrics tracking, really a bullish signal here. Record payment volumes, surging RWA tokenization, and tightening, probably most important for trading, right? Tightening exchange supply. XRP price has declined 26% year to date, but this kind of divergence between value and actual metrics that matter, it usually only leads to one thing, one direction, up only is usually what you see here. Now let's take a look at this here. From startup to superpower. I mean, Tether is no joke. Say what you want, and they are as shady as it gets, but they are no joke. $10 billion in annual profit here. $500 billion target valuation. This is a behemoth. This is like a Silicon Valley tech company, right? Wasn't that long ago, Tesla was a $500 billion. Here we are, Tether at the same spot. 70 tons of gold that they're holding on to. Like, this is no joke, and they're doing it with 300 employees. Now, why is this important? Well, crypto, the things you're going to be able to do with crypto and AI and the amount of employees you need, it's going to be mind-boggling. You're just going to be able to scale like crazy, and that's really what Tether's showing. Now, we see this here, political alliances. They're aligned with Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. That gives them an in with the White House here, a direct line to President Trump. Tether America, they have launched a new type of Tether to be compliant with the U.S. market rules. And this is concerning, though. because they had no chance of making actual regular tether compliant with US laws. Like that ain't going to happen. And so that should worry you, of course, but lobbying power. You're making the kind of money they are on an annual basis. Like you're going to have power because you're going to be able to buy politicians. We understand exactly how this game works right here. Massive financial scale. Again, 10 billion annual profit, 500 billion target valuation. They have $122 billion in treasuries. So that makes the US also want to work with them because it creates a lot of demand for treasuries. They love that. That's one of the big appeals of cryptocurrency. Someone's got to buy these things. We see a lot of countries pulling out of the treasury market while crypto companies can replace that demand. And again, they're a behemoth. They have 70 tons of gold sitting on their balance sheet. Well, at least as far as we can tell. They have an expansion beyond crypto too. Their AI lab, media, Neuralink and investment in Neuralink, and physical oil trade. So they're doing a lot of stuff here. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, persistent red flags. It's a black box. We don't really know what's going on within this company. They have no audits, they have attestations. That is not the same as an audit. Don't be fooled. They have illicit financial exposure. Like one of the reasons they're probably so profitable is because they help sanction countries and people do financial transactions that they should not be. And it's just a risk. I mean, they have so much in US treasuries, it could cause a problem in markets if they go under, if they have problems. And I think this is a great opportunity. We're going to want Circle, Ripple, and others to compete with them and probably replace them because there's a lot of danger here. Make no mistake, just because you're big, just because you've been around a long time, doesn't mean that you're not a danger to the whole market here. Tether is building itself to flourish in the coming apocalypse. They have gold, they have crypto, they have Bitcoin, they make tons of profit. But again, we can't confirm everything. They got all sorts of red flags here. Their base architecture is not going to be compliant with U.S. laws, with European laws there, with MiCA. That ain't going to work. You have to have audits. You have to be able to prove to investors that your product is safe. And while they are as big as it gets, it does create risks for the whole market. Let me know down below what you think. Is Tether, should we trust in Tether? Will they run into problems? Are they doing shady stuff? Will the Ripples and Circles be able to run them down? Because again, they're doing things right from day one. It'll be interesting. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.